Shalom, shalom, Mr. Brother Kazawan.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Brother Shemawa. All
All right, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach, wa Malak, Yahweh Shai, and a strong shalom, the brothers and sisters out there doing the work, magnifying the name of the Lord, and making their bodies a living sacrifice day in and day out. All right, we're going to get straight into this video. Do you want to be free or do you want to be a servant of this world? Right, that's a question you got to ask yourself on a daily. You got to, you got to sometimes catch yourself doing that. You might be at the work. We all been there, right? You might be at the workplace. You might be going super hard at work, but then you go home, you might not be going as hard, So you want to be, making sure that you a servant of the Most High, right? And not a servant of this world, right? Or you might be, dealing with a particular sin, and you becoming a servant unto that sin. You serve that sin more than you serve the Most High, which is really going into idolatry, right? I mean, because you putting that sin or that pleasure that you want to do over the Most High. So that's really going into idolatry. Let's get this real quick in Exodus chapter 20, right? Exodus chapter 20 and verse number 3. All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse number 3. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." All right, so you should never have any other gods before the Most High. Right, no matter what it is. Right, you can make. Right, you can hold on. So I can continue on.
yeah, Khan, that's right. The brother got to deal with something, but you should have no other gods before you, man. So whatever you deal with more than the Most High, that's your God, right? Read that again. It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," right? So you gotta have whatever you deal with. I mean, you can't be dealing with that more than the Most High, because literally you letting it know that, hey, this is what gives me safety. This is what relaxes me. This is what's helped me. This is what gives me a peace of mind. Right? That's off. Right? You got it off.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to be putting, whatever it is, at before the Most High. Whether it's, you got men, they'll right when you going up and you sinning, right, you automatically putting that before the Most High because you saying I'm gonna do my own will and my own pleasure over the Most High's will. Right? The Most High will ain't for you to go and down, hit a prostitute, or for you to backbite, or for you to talk about this brother or this sister, gossip. That ain't the Most High's will. That's you. That's your fleshly lust, and you learned that from the heathen, right? Because that's their gods, right? Sin is their god, right? You learned that from them, right? So that we just want to, that's the topic of the video, right? That we want to go into it today, right? I want to grab one more quick precept before we get into it. Let's go to Colossians chapter 3 and verse number 5, right? Right? It says, "Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry." Right? So idolatry isn't just you just bowing down to a cobblestone. You just bowing down to damn Vishnu or Caesar Borgia. Idolatry could be fornication. It could be inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, meaning it's a strong desire after something, right? It could be sex, it could be whatever, right? Covetousness, you might want a brother car, right? That's idolatry, right? Those things are idolatry, and that's sin with the Most High, right? So you don't want to be a servant unto this world, right? It says, "For which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience," right? And if you continue to disobey the word of the Most High, hey, the wrath of the Most High is going to come upon you for being a servant of this world. Right, but if you ain't got a precept, we're gonna hop straight into it.
I got one more precept, then we can get into it. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. It says, "Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils." Right? "Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils." Right? So it can't be both. It's either you fully serving the most Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, or you serving Satan. It's no in between. Right? So whatever you diving into, hey, that is your God, man. Cup you drinking. That's the table you want to sit at. All right? You can't be sitting with we already know people who got bad manners. Anybody, any wicked sin, you sitting down with the GDs, and then you come over here with the the man of the Lord. The Lord ain't dealing with that, right? It's no in between. But you got to kick it off.
Con. Right, it's a precept I was looking for. I think it's in Romans, but we'll get it'll come to my mind again. Right, but we're gonna hop straight into this. Right, we're gonna we going into the book of John, chapter 8, and we're gonna start at verse number 28 on down. Right, we're gonna touch on a few precepts in there. Right. It says, then said Yahweh Shai unto them, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know. This is John 8 and 28, by the way. Right, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am He, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father have taught me, I speak these things. Right, so the Lord, He's just talking about that He's not doing His own will, basically, like He's doing the Father's will. It says, and He that sent me is with me. The Father hath not left me alone, for I do always those things that please Him. Right, we're supposed to walk like Yahweh Shai. Right, he was always doing the things that please the Most High. That should be our mindset. Do everything that pleases the Most High. Right, being a servant to whatever sin it is that that has you bound up in chains, that's not pleasing the Most High. And Yahweh Shai, He never had anything that held Him back. He was always a free man. He was always a free man. Right, He never was a servant unto sin. Yeah, He was afflicted. That's different though. He wasn't a servant unto sin that anytime that sin called His name, that He went to it, like some men. Yeah, some men they can't stop committing adultery. Some men, they can't stop gossiping. Some men, they can't stop having hatred. Some women, they just can't stop being whores. And that means they're servants unto that. Because whenever it's time for them to go and do that thing, they go and do it. Like a job. Whenever it's time for you to clock into your job, you're there. Same thing with that spirit. Right? Whatever sin it is, right? Whenever it's time to clock in and it's knocking at the door, say, hey, come on. We gotta work. Right? You there to do it. Right? And it says, as he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahweh Shai to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Right? So we want to continue in the word, right? If we want to be servants of the Lord, right? It says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Right? So if you want to be free from this world, you gotta come to the truth. You gotta come to the light. You gotta come to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because that's the only way you'll be made free. You can't make yourself free by doing your own thing. You have to do those things which please the Lord, right? And you got to serve the Lord, or you got to keep the commandments. You got to have faith. You got to believe, right? That's the only thing that can make you free from this captivity, free from the wickedness of this world, right? Yes, you're gonna fall to certain sins. Yeah, you're gonna fall to certain spirits, but through faith, patience, right? And doing the work, you're gonna eventually overcome that, right? You won't ever overcome a spirit by not believing. That's the only way, right? Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 10, real quick, and I'm gonna let you hop in there. All right, Luke chapter 10, and verse number 16. It says, "He that heareth you, heareth me." We're gonna start at verse 17. It says, "And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name." Right? So when you come into this truth, right, hey, these spirits are subject unto you once you call upon the name of the Lord. All right? You call upon the name of the Lord, hey, you'll always be delivered. You'll always be saved from whatever is troubling you, whatever spirit, whatever sin keeps trying to creep up on you. You'll always be saved from that. You'll always be delivered. It's no account where our forefathers got confounded unless they was wicked, unless they chose not to serve the Lord and they chose to do their own thing. Right? You got countless men that went off and they want to do their own thing, right? And they got smoked, right? You got a man in Maccabees, right? He went under an elephant for no reason and killed himself because he wanted a name, with his fathers. Hey, that wasn't the Most High will. That was something that he wanted to do. Serving your own flesh, serving your own will, right? And I think it's a precept. Hold on, let me see. I just forgot the precept, right? But you got it real quick.
Yeah, Khan. So, hey, like the brother was saying, man, you only free when you serve Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? You're also free from the slavery of your mind, because this world had you trapped, right? You didn't know you didn't know who you were. You didn't know you was an Israelite. You didn't know that the whole world was against the Bible. You really didn't know these things. Some people do. Don't get me wrong. Drake know the whole world is against the Bible, but what? He want to do his own thing. Like the brother was saying, it's accounts that, they want to do their own thing. Hezekiah, he got proudful. You got Ahab. The sin that he did, it was light to him, right? So let me bring this out too. Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8, it says, finally, brethren, right? This through the Spirit, finally. You know what I'm saying? That we in this thing. And let's see what the Lord says, right? Finally, let's see what Paul says. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good reports. If there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things, right? So you'll be able to think of those things because you know what they are. What is just? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. What is true? This truth is right here. This book is the truth, right? So, hey, and it'll set you free, man. It's not just to do your own thing. It's not true to do your own thing. It's not true to serve your own sin, right? What it says is, whatsoever things are pure. You know what's pure, man. These words are pure, right? I forgot what precept that was, too. But I also want to touch on, just by what you were saying, the Lord always wanted to please the Most High because David done that. You got people that they don't even want to, please the Most High. They just want to please themselves. And if you say you do want to praise the Most High, why you steady pleasing yourself, indulging in the sin that you should stop doing, right? It's the book of Acts chapter 13 and verse 22. It says, and when he had removed him, he raised unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony, and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. And if you read this precept, or if you read the accounts of David, you see how he was moving. And you want to be like those men, right? That's of a good report right there. That's what Paul was getting. Whatsoever things are of good report, those are things that you should think upon, and it will set you free. Because it's the truth, right? And you got it out.
Right? Yeah, come. Right. I want to grab this quick precept in Romans chapter 6. I think I want to start. Is that where I want? Yeah, I want to start at verse number 6. Right. It says, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. Right. So once you come into the truth, right, you start to believe on Yahweh Shai, you start to do the works of Yahweh Shai. Hey, you're a new man. Right. The old man dies off. And it says you are, right, it's going to tell you that you get freed from sin, right? You shouldn't serve sin no more once you start to believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Once you get, brought back up, once you get raised back up, you should never be serving sin anymore, right? It shouldn't be able to just corrupt your whole body and defile you and keep you in subjection, right? Because you have the power to overcome it now, right? A man in the world, he doesn't even know what his lust is because he doesn't know the law. He doesn't know Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore, he's going to continue to indulge in his lust because he's a servant of this world. Because that's where he was raised up. That's why you got to be, brought into this truth and raised up as a child, right, from the Lord, right? You got to be raised up again. You got to be born again, right? It says, for he that is dead is free from sin, right? So you got to die first, then you got to be resurrected, right? He said, he said, if you're dead, you're free from sin. Right, so you get free, right? That's why the Lord said, the truth shall set you free. Right, the truth will set them free from the sins of this world, right? From adultery, from any kind of lust, from any kind of hatred, from any damn thing, right? Them being a thief, right? Only if you let it, though, right? If you submit your whole power unto the Most High, right? The little power that you have, you'll always be set free. All right, let's drop down to verse number. I think I want to drop down into verse number 12. All right. It says, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. Right? Because that's what somebody that's not free, right? That's what somebody from the world is going to do. They're going to let sin reign over them because it's their master, right? It's their God, right? And that's what makes you a servant of this world, because you're doing the things of this world, right? It says, let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you shall obey it in the lust of it, right? And what do you do when you have a master? You obey everything the master says. Like we're supposed to, Yahweh Shai is our master, right? I'm going to just grab that real quick in Matthew, the 19th chapter, right? Yahweh Shai is our master. So what do we have to do? We have to obey the words of Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, right? This Matthew 19 and verse number 16. It says, and behold, one came and said unto him, good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? Right? So your master is Yahweh Shai. Right? So you got to do the things that's commanded of him from the Most High. Right? Because everything that he commands you to do is sent down from the Most High. Right? So you can't just be a man obeying all your lust. Right? Talk about, hey, you know what? I don't want to stop serving sin. Right, let me get another quick precept, right? All right, this is going into the law, but I just want to bring it out through the spirit, right? Because this is what men say when they in sin, right? When they have a particular sin that they just don't want to let go, it might be the smoking demon. Hey, that's their master. It has power over them, right? It tells them when it wants to go off, right? You got people that they just can't stop. They can't stop them lusting after men's wives. Hey, that's their flesh telling them, hey, look at that woman right now. You might be trying to fight. You might be like, nah, I can't do it. And then you just give in. You say, you just get that damn relief, right? This is Exodus chapter 21, and we're going to start at verse number 5. Right? It says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go free. Right? And that's what men say. Right? Men love wickedness. They love evil. That's why they don't try to get set free. That's why people don't want to come into the truth, because their master is sin. So they say, I don't want to be free. I don't want to be set free. So I don't want to know the truth. And even people in the truth, right? They fall out of the truth because they don't truly want to be free. They want to be in chains. They want to be in shackles to their sins and to this world, right? I want to grab one more quick precept in John chapter 3, right? This is John chapter 3 and verse number 18. I'm gonna just get to the point, verse 19. It says, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Right, and that's why men don't want to come into the truth. That's why they obey their master, which is this world, the sins of this world, the wickedness, the lust, because they love the darkness. Because they know that if they come to the truth, they can't do those things anymore. They can't continue to serve sin anymore. So they know that those things gotta go. Right, all old things gotta go. Right, this is verse 20. It says, for everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Right? Because when you come into the truth, you can't just whore out your sisters no more. You can't just whore yourself out as a sister. Right? You can't just go and beat up your brothers and jump them and shoot at them. You can't do these things no more. And that's why men don't want to, come into the truth. You can't just go and eat shrimp, crab, lobster, pork. You can't do these things. Right? Sisters can't just be wearing pants and wearing bikini bottoms and damn thongs at the beach. They can't do these things no more. And they don't come into the truth because they don't want to be set free from these things, because they love their master, which is sin, which is this world, right? Which is the lust and concupiscence of this world. Right, now I'm gonna go back to Romans 6 and 13. I'm gonna just hand it off to you. Right. It says, neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto Yahweh as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God. Right. So your members is your body, right? It's your body parts, right? It's your flesh. Right. You want to yield your members as instruments of righteousness, serving the Most High. Right. It says, as those that are alive from the dead, right? Because you was made alive from the dead once Yahweh Shai was brought back up. Once you came into this truth and you was baptized, right? You was made alive again, right? So now that you're alive and you're not dead anymore, can't be letting your members be yielded unto unrighteousness. It says, "For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you're not under the law, but under grace." But you got it out.
Come on, yeah, brother was bringing that out mighty, man. Because once you come in this thing, hey, it's really, I mean, it's over with. You can't be a servant to sin. I mean, you can't just be bowing down, doing whatever that your flesh tell you to do. Right? I'm gonna get Galatians chapter 5, verse 24. It says, "And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lust." So when you came in this thing, and you took up that cross, and you got upon that cross as well, and you crucified the old man, all the things that you've done in the world. And then you literally came in this truth, put on fringes, and decide to do the exact same things you've done in the world. Like the brother was saying, you still lusting after wives. You still want you still freaking off with Eve. You still calling up the same Eve that you know you should have dealt with. Stop dealing with, right? And then it says, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So if you're walking in the spirit, you won't do these things, right? As I said, it says that in Romans as well, Romans chapter 8. I'm bringing Romans chapter 8 and verse. I'll just start at verse 5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh." So it's not a coincidence like, oh, I did this, but it's all good. No, brother, you mind those type of things. That's what you want to do, right? Yeah, we fall short, but if you keep diving, dipping, and diving, hey, you really mind those things. It says that for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. So hey, if you keep lusting after their brother's wife, hey, you mind that thing. You keep wanting to smoke weed, hey, you mind those type of things, right? You come in this thing, you supposed to crucify that old man, the affection and the lust when you come in this thing, man. Right? Read on. It says, "But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit." Right? For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. You see that? And that's what the Lord said. Hey, man, that know the truth shall make you free. Because you will have peace when you spiritually minded. Knowing the ways of this world and not diving back into them. Right? Because when you after the spirit, you after the things of the spirit, right? Keeping the commandments, loving your brother. The two greatest commandments. Right? Let me bring that out. I'm gonna see if I can. Because Yahushua said that himself. Let me see if I can find it real quick. All right. That should be let me see. Right. Matthew chapter 22 and verse 38. Just get to the point. Well, 37. It says, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind." Hey man, the Lord said you gotta love the Most High with all your heart and with all your mind. This is like the last precept the Lord got me into, man. You can't partake in the sins that you do in the world and then come to camp. You freak off the whole week, then come to camp. Or you freak off one day, then you want to throw a prayer. Hey, it's better to obey the Lord than sacrifice, man. Right? You're not giving your whole body, spirit, and mind to the Most High. To Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, right? This is the first and great commandment, right? This is one of the first. Because when you love the Lord with your whole mind, you wouldn't want to lust after your brother's wife. You wouldn't want to hate your brother. You wouldn't want to envy him of the things he got. Coveting, which is one of the most top 10 commandments. Those are the top 10 commandments, man. The last commandment, right? Verse 39. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Hey, that's one of the two greatest commandments, man. It trumpets everything because if you love yourself, hey, you'll give your mind and spirit to the Most High because you know that without Him, I mean, hey, you wouldn't even love yourself. You didn't love yourself in the world. You kill yourself. One more precept and you got it. You literally kill yourself when you go off, man. You don't love yourself. That's why Jake always talking about, so I'm still trying to find myself. You trying to find it because you keep killing yourself. You cut off your body part and toss it somewhere else. Like the concubine. She got cut in pieces and just threw out, right? Down that dead pool, man. You steady trying to find yourself because you're killing yourself. Let's get that in Tobit real quick, and then you got it up. All right, Tobit chapter 12, verse 10. But they that sin are enemies to their own life. You are enemy to your own life when you just indulge in the gods that you want to serve, right? You literally destroying yourself. Hey, the Lord said that's one of the two greatest commandments, man. Because you wouldn't do the things that you will do. And if you love yourself, you don't even want to put yourself in that. And you'll put yourself in that brother's shoes. Right? That's off. But you got it out.
All right. And the book of Romans, the 6th chapter, right? That's a perfect book. If you want to never read it, you want to dive into it, talking about being made free from sin and being a servant unto righteousness now. Being a servant of the Lord, being a true servant of the Lord. Right? Because you could be in the truth, but still not be a servant of the Lord, because you could be, serving this world still. You could still be, that's called being lukewarm, but you know what I mean, right? So we're gonna go back to I'm gonna actually grab this quick precept in Romans 6 again. Right, this is Romans 6 and 18. Right, it says, being then made free from sin. Right, so you was made, once you came into the truth, you were made free from sin, and you ain't have to worry about it no more. You don't have to worry about it controlling you and having a dominion over you. Right, and just telling you, you know what, I want to go and freak off with this man, or I want to shoot paintball guns at this homeless man. Right, because Jake, when we was little, Jake was doing that, shooting paintball guns and BB guns at the homeless people. That's all, right? But when you came into truth, you were made free from that, right? It says, ye became the servants of righteousness. So now that you're free, now you're a servant unto righteousness, not a servant unto sin anymore. Are you not a servant unto whatever it is that was that had some kind of power over you, right? So let's keep reading, right? Yeah, I'm gonna drop that, right? Let's go to John chapter 8 again, right? In verse number 33. It says, they answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any men. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Right. So they saying, we Abraham's seed, right? We ain't in bondage. But it's a contradiction, because they're literally they literally in bondage to the Romans already. But the Lord is talking about, sin. Right? That's what the Lord is talking about. So they in bondage carnally, yeah, they in bondage to the Romans and don't even realize it, or some, right? And spiritually, they in bondage to sin, right? It says, Yahushua answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. Because you got men, they just can't stop sinning. Oh, I like to do this. Oh man, it feels so good. Right? They get a dopamine off of it. They get that good pleasure. They like, I can't stop doing it. I'm not gonna stop doing it. So that's when you become a servant. That's what makes you a servant, right? That's what puts you into bondage, right? He said, whosoever committed sin is the servant of sin. So that's how he's saying that they were in bondage. So it don't matter if you Abraham's seed, because these men, they was going off, right? These men, they would, when they was in the world, they was going off. Before they met Yahushua, they was wicked, right? So they were servants unto sin, right? Let's keep reading. Actually, I think I want to get Galatians. Is that 4? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, come on. I think I want Galatians 4. All right, come on. Where I want to start at? Yeah, come on. I want to start at Galatians 4 and verse number 22. It says, for it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, the one by a bondmaid and the other by a free woman. Right, so we know the story of Abraham. Right, he had Hagar and I believe he was Sarah. Right, he had Hagar and Sarah. Right, so one was a bondmaid and one was a free woman. Right, so Hagar, right, she's that bondmaid. Right, but he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by promise. Right, so the free woman, right, that's going into Isaac. Right, and the one that was born after the flesh, that's going into Ishmael. Right, So he said, but he was who, right? I'm gonna start at verse 22 again. It says, for it is written that Abraham had two sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, right? So automatically, if you're a heathen, you were born after the flesh, right? So you're gonna automatically be a servant unto sin. You'll never be able to be made free, right? But if you're an Israelite and if you're an Israelite, you're born after the, after the promise, right? After the Spirit, right? It says which things, verse 24, it says which things are an allegory, for these are the two covenants, the one from Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which is now in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. For it is written, rejoice thou barren that bearest not, break thou that travaileth not, for the desolate hath many more children than she which hath an husband. Now we brethren, as Isaac, are the children of the promise. So he's telling the Galatians, right? We the children of the promise, right? We're Israelites, right? We come from Isaac's bloodline, right? We don't come from Ishmael. We don't come, we come from Isaac, right? Let me keep reading. It says, but as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free. Right? So you're made you're made children of the free woman. Right? So the promise is everything that the Lord, you could read about that in Romans 9. Right? You read about the promises in Genesis, right? You can read about the promises everywhere. Right? You ain't gonna be in bondage to sin. Right? You don't gotta worry about that. Right? Because you could serve the Most High, right, and escape the pollutions of this world. Ishmael can't do that. The Palestinians can't serve the Most High and escape the pollutions of this world. They will never be able to do that because they were born after the flesh, and those that's after the flesh cannot please the Most High. Right? Let's go to the book of Romans. I believe is the 8th chapter, and I want to start at verse number 8, and then we're gonna jump up. All right, so remember what we just broke down in Galatians, the 4th chapter. You got the free woman, which is Sarah, right? And then you have the bondwoman, which is Hagar, right? Ishmael was born from Hagar. Isaac was born from Sarah. An Israelite, they come from Isaac, from his bloodline, right? After Jacob, right? So they're the children of the promise, the children born after the Spirit, right? So they're made free, right? Let's read this, right? It says, it's Romans chapter 8 and verse number 8. It says, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh. Right? So if you're a heathen, you can't please the Most High. So and if you're an Israelite and you living after the flesh, you being a servant unto sin, you serving this world, right? Living as these heathens, you're living like a Greek. You're living like a damn Ishmaelite. You're living like a damn Roman. You're living like an American. You can't please the Most High. So if you're not in this truth, you don't have the opportunity to please the Most High. So those brothers and right, until you come into the truth, right? So those brothers and sisters that you see out there on the street, that's not in the truth, or some that's say they're in the truth, but they're off, but they're living in the flesh and not walking in the Spirit, and they're not pleasing the Most High, all right? Because they're walking like children in the flesh, right? It says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. If so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. Right? Let me read that again. Says, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit. So, like I said, you're Israelite, you in the truth, right? You have the Spirit. So you have to walk in the Spirit. You got to serve the Most High in the Spirit. You can't please the Most High in the flesh. You can't please the Most High being a servant unto sin, unto this world, right? Because this world is, right, it's enmity with the Most High, right? When you read James, the 4th chapter, right? It says, if so be that the Spirit of God dwell in you, right? Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. Right? So you have the Spirit of the Most High. So now it's time for you to serve the Most High, right? And cast off the wickedness that you were once dealing with, right? Because if you don't have the Spirit of the Most High, the Lord said you're not even one of His. So if you're not in the truth, you're not the Most High's children. Yeah, you're an Israelite, but if you're a servant of corruption, if you're a servant unto this world, you're not the Most High children at the same time, right? Let me keep reading. Right, I'm gonna go up. Right, I'm gonna start at verse 1. This is Romans 8:1. It says, "There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit." Right. So there's no, you can't just condemn somebody that's in the they walking after the Spirit. They walking in the truth. Or you can't just condemn somebody and say, "Hey nigga, you going off." You can't say that. I mean, but you can't be like, "Hey nigga, you gonna die," because he might have he might have slipped up. He might have had old sins that he might have did in the world. You can't be like, "Hey, you was committing adultery in the world." Hey, that's the penalty for damn adultery is death, man. But no, he can't do that because he's walking in the Spirit now. He's a new man. He was raised up. That's why you got to read the book of Romans as a letter, because it wasn't Romans 6, 7, and 8 when Paul was writing it. It was just a letter, just one big letter. That's why you got to read it like that, because then when you read it like that, it's gonna all connect, right? It says, "For the law." Salaki, verse 2, "For the law of the Spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahushua hath made me free from the law of sin and death." So like I just broke down, right? When you come into the truth, right? After Yahushua had died and you was raised up, you was baptized into this thing, right? He says you was made free from the law of sin and death. The law of sin and death is like I was just going into, condemning somebody, saying, when they was in the world, they committed adultery or they might have murdered a brother unjustly. You can't be like, "Hey, you're gonna die. You need to die." No, because you're made free from the law of sin and death. You have grace. You have mercy now, right? You're a new man, so you get a fresh start with the Lord, right? You can't just be condemning people, saying, "Hey, you're a servant of this world. Get out of here," and trying to cast people of the truth. You're not the Most High, right? It says, "For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit." Right? Because the Pharisees, right, they was just walking after the flesh. They was walking carnally. They was still practicing those ordinances and going, just not listening to the Lord. Right? But let's read it again. It says, "The righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us." Right? So you fulfill the righteousness of the law, right, when you walk in the Spirit. Right? That's how you fulfill the law. Right? It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Right? So if you live in carnally minded and you still live in that old way, right, you're just going to be bringing death upon people. You break the Sabbath, boom. You might accidentally break the Sabbath, boom, you're going to kill somebody. Right? You might accidentally, whatever sin it may be, right? It could bring death. Right? It says, "Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, but is not subject to the law, neither indeed can be." But I know I was just going for a little minute. You could hop in there, King.
No, good. I had one point when they were saying too, in verse 33, right? When they were saying Abraham's seed, just a little point, like, do you think Solomon was saying, "Hey man, I'm David's seed, man, I'm David's son"? No, you been going off, brother. Solomon was boasting about him being the son of David, right? Let's bring that out. A quick little point. 1 Kings chapter 11. Let's go to just a little quick. It's verse 9. It says, "And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice." Hey, you got brothers out here. The Lord appeared unto them more than twice. More than twice. And you still a servant to that sin, man. You still want to watch wicked videos. You still want to watch. You still want to freak off with guns. right? You still want to lust after your brother's possessions. That's off, right? And had commanded him concerning this thing that he should not go after other gods, but kept not that which the Lord commanded. And we know these things, right? We know the commandments. So if you continue wanting to serve sin, that's obviously that's what you want to do. I mean, that's what you want to do. You don't want to love the Most High for real. You don't love the Most High for real. And this what we got to tell ourselves to make sure that we don't go off. Examine yourself for judgment. If not, you will get judged, right? Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my commandment and my statutes which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding thy days, I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of my son. Right? You still don't see Solomon saying anything about, wait, hold on, Lord, I'm David's son. I'm boasting about his father. He the seed of his father. That's off. Cause that don't really matter, man. That don't really matter like the brother that's going to. Cause if you Abraham's seed, then you must be out of flesh. You're not by the promise. Right? But you got it out.
Right. I think I want to go back to John chapter 8. Let me see.
Was that 34?
I think so.
Yeah, come on. Could be 36. Okay.
Right. In a little bit, we're gonna hop into verse 44 because those are the main 2 points I wanted to touch on. Main few points, of this account. But let's keep reading. Right. This is verse 35. Oh, verse 36. Yeah. It says, "If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you." Right. So they don't have the spirit. Right. It says, "I speak that which I have seen with my father, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father." Right? They answered and said unto him, "Abraham is our father." Yahushua said unto him, "If you were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham." So the Lord about to break something down super cold. Right? He gonna break down something super cold, right? Because he said, "I speak that which I have seen with my father." He's talking about the Most High. He says, "And ye do that which ye have seen with your father." Now, when you read the next verse, he's not talking about Abraham, right? Because that's what they think he's talking about. They said they answered says him, "Abraham is our father." That's what the Lord said. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. Abraham was righteous. He wasn't just killing men unjustly. You know who killed men unjustly? The so-called white man. The so-called white man kills men unjustly. So who works are they really doing? Who is their father? Right? Because they were seeking to kill Yahushua unjustly. Abraham would have never done that. He walked by faith. Right? I was just reading Hebrews the 11th chapter, right? You could just read that you could read that chapter, right? Go into faith for all your forefathers and all the accounts. Abraham was a man of faith.
Right.
And righteousness. He didn't do stuff like that. Right? Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11 real quick. And verse number 8. Right? It says, "By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is God." So everything Abraham did, it was of the Most High. Right? He followed the word of the Most High. Whatever the Most High commanded him, he did that. He wasn't going to go and kill a man unjustly like these wicked men right here. Right? These wicked men, they were trying to kill Yahushua. Just like the so-called white man will go and kill you today for no reason. Right? Just like they did Yahushua. Pontius Pilate. He killed Yahushua unjustly. He knew the Lord wasn't wicked. He knew the Lord was a just man, but he still went through and killed him. Trying to make it seem like he didn't do nothing wrong. That's evil. And that's what these wicked men right here in this account are doing. Right? Right? That's why the Lord is confounding him, saying he basically saying, hey, Abraham, not your father, man. Yeah, you come from his seed. Yeah, you know, you was born of his seed line, but at the spirit, hey, that you're not moving like Abraham, right? You moving like a damn Edomite, right? It says, but now ye seek to kill me, a man that hath told you truth, which I have heard of God. This did not Abraham. And like I said, right, like the Spirit said, right, it says that Abraham didn't do that. Abraham wasn't going to kill a man that was speaking after the Most High. Right? Abraham wasn't going to go and kill a man after the Most High heart, a prophet, unjustly. He wasn't going to do that. Right? So these men in this account, they not, for the 50th time, they're not doing the works of Abraham. Right? And you don't want to be caught up thinking that you're doing the works of your fathers, but you're really doing the works of the so-called white man, Satan. Right? It says, ye do the deeds of your father, right? This verse 41. It says, ye do the deeds of your father. Then said they to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even God. All right, so they're trying to say, hey, the Most High is our father now. Right? That's who our father is. They were just saying Abraham is their father. Right? It says, Yahushua said unto them, if God were your father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. So he confounded me. He said, how is your father Yahweh, but you don't love me? You're trying to kill me, but I'm speaking, thus saith Yahweh. Right? That's not how an Israelite should move. Right? If you after the spirit, you're gonna know a man after the spirit. And you're gonna be able to discern a man that's, hey, he's moving in the spirit of righteousness. He's a just man. He's a man after the Most High's heart. And you can discern a wicked man. Right? And that's what the Lord doing. He know that these men is wicked. Right? It says, why do you not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my word? And I'm going to need you to read verse 44 because I don't know why I was tripping one day and I highlighted this red. So I'm going to need you to read verse 44.
Verse 44. God.
Yeah, I highlighted it red. I don't know why I did
that. Let me, I want to touch on a little point real quick and then we're going to get to it. Because it's a cut for these damn trinities, right? Trinity doctrine. It's verse 42, it says, Yahushua said unto them, if God were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither came out of myself, but he sent me. So they like to say that Yahushua is God, Jesus Christ is God. Hey, as you see, he said that he came from the Most High. He came from God. Right? If he's one, how can he come from something if he brought himself down here? Supposedly, if he's God, right? Neither came out of myself. He's literally telling all these damn Christians, these bugged out, whoever believe in it, right? He says, neither came out of myself. In this red letter, he's speaking it out of his own mouth. But he sent me. But did he say I sent me? No. The Most High sent them, right? So let me go to verse 44. It says, ye are of your father, the devil.
He said that ye are of your father, the devil. Right? So their father isn't the Most High. Their father isn't Abraham. Because like the Lord said, hey, if your father was Abraham, you would do the works of Abraham. And Abraham, he wasn't going to just go kill me. Basically, that's what the Lord was saying. And he said, hey, you're not of the Most High, right? Because, hey, I'm of the Most High. And if you was of the Most High, y'all would love me. So y'all wouldn't be trying to kill me unjustly. So the Lord is really just cutting them up through the spirit. He said, hey, you have your father, the devil. Right? Keep reading.
Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do.
Right? He says, in the lust of your father you would do. Right? So he not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Right? He's talking about the Romans, man. He's talking about the so-called white man. The spiritual demon Satan, he doesn't do any lust, right? He's doing what the Most High command. He's doing his job. Right? So he's talking about the so-called white man who lust that they're doing after. Right? They trying to kill him. They trying to kill him unjustly like a so-called white man. Right? Everything they do, they want power and authority over their people. Damn unjust power. They want all the same things that the so-called white man do. And you don't want to get caught up out here doing the works of the devil, right? Which is the so-called white man, doing the same works as him. Being a servant of this world, hating your people, damn afflicting your people, damn freaking off and doing all kinds of wickedness and madness. Right? Keep reading.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He said he was a murderer from the beginning. Now, if you know the breakdown, he's talking about Cain. Right? Cain and Abel. Right? Cain had that mark. It was passed to Esau when you go through the breakdown. And Esau is the Romans. You hear about Antipater and Idumea. He was a Roman man. And that's an Edomite. So they murderers just like the so-called white man, trying to kill the Lord. Right? And when you try to kill the man, keep reading.
Right. And abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him.
Is it more than that?
Yeah, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own will. So like he speaketh own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Right. So he's moving just like the so-called white man. They are trying to say, hey, I'm moving in the spirit of God. Like when they moving in the spirit of a wicked carnal man, moving after their own lust and their own will. But with that, I yield.
God. You got something, Mike?
So like I'm still trying to pull on my preset now. Brother, go ahead. I'm grabbing my preset.
Okay, kind of right. And that's why when you come into this truth, you don't want to be moving like this. That's why we broke down Romans 6, we broke down Romans 8, and we broke down part of Galatians, the 4th chapter. Right? We went into certain other accounts showing you don't want to be moving like this. Right? Damn, being a servant of this world. Because you become a servant of this world, you're gonna do whoever you live in amongst, right? You're gonna live exactly how they live. Whether it's the Greeks, the damn Ishmaelites, the damn Romans, the damn Americans, the damn Hawaiians, are you gonna do what their lust is? They like to kill, you're gonna kill. They like to rob, that you're gonna rob. They like to grape, you're gonna grape. Right? They like to be homosexuals, you're gonna be a homosexual. They like to lie, you're gonna be a liar. Right? You doing the lust of who your father is, because the Most High, he never did none of those wicked things. Right? And that's supposed to be your father. Hey, even Abraham wasn't on that. He wasn't wicked. He wasn't wicked. Right? So for them to not be, right, for the Lord to cut them and say, hey, you're not of Abraham or the Most High, these got to be some wicked men. Right? But brothers got it.
Constantine, you guys on?
Go ahead.
I'm going Galatians chapter 5, right? Verse number 1. Right? It says, no, matter of fact, I really should start at verse 4. I'm going to just start at 5, chapter 5 for the point. Right? It says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Right? So many people don't really understand what the Lord said when he said, ye shall indeed be free. Right? When it says that we're free in Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? So many people believe that being free in Hamashiach Yahushua is to be free to sin. To be free, like, I know brothers have seen the incredible stuff going on with Diddy right now. Diddy is a monster. Not only is Diddy a monster, but everybody that was with him. What's his name? Cuba Gooding Jr., right? He was also entangled in with all of that stuff that was going on. These people are monsters, right? But you know what the Christian church believes? The Christian church believes that we should just let all of that go. We believe that they believe that they shouldn't be judged for their crimes, which is why so many people in the Christian church, right, get treated like garbage every day. Get treated like garbage every day, right? They treat somebody like garbage every single day. Every opportunity that they have, they treat somebody like garbage, and they believe what? That you should let it go, that you should forgive them. because Christ has freed them. They have no control over their sins, right? Christ has freed them to do these things that they feel like they should do, right? That's not with the liberty that comes with Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, which is why every Christian is a hypocrite. Some people try to use Jesus to rape white women. I know you hear it in all of the camps, right? You can rape. Can we say rape? You can rape a white woman, or you can rape another woman, right? When Yahweh Shah comes back, because the Bible says that their women shall be ravished.
Yeah, I would say grape instead. That's what I hear brothers saying. Because
Yeah. I did, Shalaka. I did hear that.
Grape.
Great. Yeah.
I'm too old to say grape. If they gonna ban me, they're gonna have to ban me for a reason, right? But that's what the church believes, man. The church believes that membership between Bishop Powerbottom and P. Diddy was for the good, when P. Diddy was just using him to soften his image, right? That's what they believe. The world doesn't really understand that they are still under the law. The Christian church is still under the law, because what the law did was it allowed you to judge somebody else because you had a witness. However, what does every Christian believe about their sins? That they should be forgiven. That I'm gonna let go. Y'all should forgive me for what I did, right? What they say, God knows my heart. God knows that I didn't mean to sleep around behind my husband's back. But I didn't mean to go and sleep with another man. Right? That's what the world believes the liberty of Christ is, man. Which is why you got so many homosexuals in the Christian church. Right? So many homosexuals sitting where? Right on top of the pews. Right in the what do they call it? The church choir. You got so many homosexuals in the choir. Because now, God, I wish I could find it. Look up Michael Todd homosexuals. Right, well, I'll say sexual assault. I wouldn't. I'm too old to say grape. Michael Todd, will he let homosexuals in the church?
Oh.
That might be it. Michael Todd said what? See what that said. 1 year ago. Right, click one of them. Oh yeah, that's it right there.
Let me turn the volume on.
That's it right there.
My internet terrible. There we go. You know, let me see. Man, it's 42 minutes. Hell yeah.
I can't hear it.
Can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it. Maybe I'm driven. I need to look it up on mine.
Yeah, you can do it on yours.
Right, let me see if I can find it real fast. What was the video called?
It said Michael Todd said what?
See that's Satan. It won't even pull up on mine. That's Satan for sure.
I'm on my phone.
I said what?
I'm on my phone.
This is Sayyid Hashafan. Man. There it is, right there. He thought he could. What they say in the church, won't he do it? So like, give me a second. Right? Turn it up. Brother, can you hear me?
God.
Share my screen real fast. Michael Todd said what? Right, brothers can see. You can show it. Can you
Watch
you hear?
this. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Honest Youth Pastor YouTube channel, the channel that helps believers use biblical
We can hear it.
in all aspects of life. Welcome. A little over the sermon, but like all Mike Todd videos are from Transformation Church, it's got bookmarks in it. So we started at the bookmark before the spot where the clip starts. I basically just buffered through till I found the clip, and then I backed all the way up so that we have full context or a good enough context.
I'm not gonna watch 40 minutes of this nigga going on. So like your brother could hop in real fast until I find my point. I really gotta find it.
All right, I want to grab a quick precept, right? Yeah.
I know, honestly, I wish God would have made it so much simpler. There was like A, B, C, or D. Like,
This might
frick.
be a king shit.
No, I'm serious.
I don't know.
As a pastor, like, so what do you think about gay marriage? I don't know.
You don't know about gay marriage, Mike Todd, and preach what the Bible says. How about this, Mike Todd? Give us Jesus' view of.
I just really wish somebody.
And this is one of the thoughts I want to.
I just wish somebody would let it play. So like you find your point, trying to find it, man. I wish somebody would just let it play. So like you go ahead. I'm gonna find it and then I'm gonna come back on, Cosmo. You go ahead.
I want to grab. I only had a few more precepts. I was just gonna let brothers take over, but let's go to the book of Ephesians real quick. Or in verse number 20. Actually, I want to go to. I think I want to go to 2 Corinthians. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 5 and verse number 17. It says, therefore, if any man be in Hamashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. Right? So you're not supposed to be doing the old lust of your father, which was the Americans, the so-called white man. You're not supposed to be doing those same things that you were once doing. Might have had a porn addiction. You don't want to be doing that no more when you got the Lord. Right? When you come into the truth. Might have had a crack addiction. You don't want to be doing it, right? Those things are old, and you're a new man, right? You're fully cleansed from that. You get a clean slate. So you want to make sure that you still walking and trying to walk in righteousness, trying to walk in the spirit. Don't walk in the flesh, right? Don't walk after this world, because that's only going to continue to defile you and destroy your temple, which is of the Most High. Right? You're not supposed to, let's get Ephesians 4 and 22. Right? Just gonna get a few quick more precepts, right? This is Ephesians 4 and 22. It says that you put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, which is corrupted according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. First, you gotta renew your entire mind. You gotta make it brand new. Right? You gotta reset your whole process of thinking. Right? You can't think the same way that you used to think. Just you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I want to do to this person right here, right? Or whatever it is that your lust is of this world, right? Of that world, right? You want to renew your mind, right? Try your best. It's gonna take time, but renew it and make it after the spirit, so that you always meditate on the things of the spirit, right? It says, and then you put on the new man, which after Yahweh is created in righteousness and true holiness, right? And wherefore put away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. And if you don't remember, right, when he said in John the 8th chapter in the 44th verse, he said, hey, they liars like they father, which is the so-called white man. Right? You want to put away lying. Right? You don't want to be down just falsely accusing people and just saying whatever just coming out of your mouth, right? You want to be a man of truth, right? A man of your word. But with that, I yield.
God, you ain't find it, Mike? Found it.
Kai, I literally just found it. Bro, let me see. Brother, you see my Give me a second. Give me a second. Work with me. You hear it?
I'm serious. As a pastor, like, so what do you think about gay men? I don't know. But I do know in the kingdom, they're going to cancel me. I'm not the king.
Salakia.
I don't know why he decided to do it like.
Like, what's going on? You can hear it?
I can hear it, but you got to run that back from the beginning. He said, what you think about gay men? He said, I don't know.
It gets so much worse. I will rewind it, but it gets so much worse.
That's all, bro.
The nigga, right, when it says, Salakia, real fast, again in Galatians chapter 5 and verse 1, it says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Right, I'm going to rewind it real fast, though.
I'm serious. As a pastor, like, so what do you think about gay men? I don't know. But I do know in the kingdom, they're going to cancel me. I'm not the king. I don't know why he decided to do it like this. I don't know why you're wrestling like that, and I don't know what to do to help you but to stand with you and pray with you, and you're welcome at Transformation Church. Trans is in the title. Transformation. You can be here. Oh God.
Do you get my point? That's bondage. That's what the Lord is telling us not to go back into. That's what Christian churches believe. Christian churches, even though they say that they don't believe in the law, they still believe in being under the law. And their version of being under the law is being a slave to it. Meaning that I can't help what I do. I'm forced to do this thing. You know, in Romans, I believe the 7th chapter, when Paul said, sin by taking occasion by the law, wrought all manner of sin within me. That's what Christians promote. Christians don't promote you being free from it, but they promote you being a slave to it, which is why trans is in the name, right? With being free, so like I'm gonna read it again, Galatians 5 and 1, it says, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Hamashiach hath made us free. Freedom, I'm thinking of Exodus chapter 19 and verse 2. Right? Exodus 19 and verse 2, where it says, the Lord flew us out on eagle's wings, man. Right? Anytime you want freedom, it will not be given to you. Freedom is not given to you. Right? When blacks were freed in the South, there was an entire war that was fought for it. There was an entire war. When the 13 colonies wanted freedom, they had to work. They had to come over to the Americas and they had to slaughter. They had to kill, right? When the Haitians revolutionized against the French, right? What happened? They had to go to war. The Christian church doesn't believe in fighting. They don't believe in fighting. They don't believe in freedom. They don't believe in the freedom that we have in Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, man. They believe in bondage, in being a sin to this world, in being a servant unto this world, a slave to the world, a slave to their bodies. Right? R. Kelly said it best. He said, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. R. Kelly's in jail. D is also in jail. But do you know who both of those men were? Both of those men were Christians. Both of those men went back into the yoke of bondage. They were under the law, right? Anytime Israel was under the law, I mean, how did they live? The same way that we live now. meaning that when we were under the law, we only followed the law because of the repercussions that came along with breaking the law. Now imagine a world where you have no repercussions for touching a child, man. That there are no repercussions for being gay. That the worst thing that you have to deal with from eating pork, right, is high blood pressure. Black folks love high blood pressure, and Mexicans, which is why they have chorizo and chitterlings. We love it. We're under the yoke of bondage, right? Be free. Fight to be free. Fight to be under Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, which is why he said stand fast. I wish I could find another translation, right? To stand fast means to stand up for something, to fight for something, right? They say it in the world all the time, right? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything. That's what this world is, man. That's what bondage looks like. My brother's got it.
God, hey, that video wicked, man. That video is wicked. I want to get 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. It says, now the Spirit speak expressively that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, man. Right? Hey, as you see, they giving heed to that spirit, man. They giving heed to that seducing spirit. Talking about how you feel about, sodomites. I don't know. I know about the kingdom and transform. See, you guys can come in it. I mean, that's wicked, man. Right? You don't want to take heed to that doctrine because it seems so good, right? But I want to touch on just one quick precept, and then I don't know if you got anything. Because while you going off, you compare to the heathen. You compare to Esau and Ishmael and all these other nations. That's why the Lord says, hey, you're going to end up dying with them, right? Hebrews, so I can, what's going on? Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16, right? It reads, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So, right, you wanna freak off and dip and dab and any other type of doctrines, or just freak off in the world. Hey, you'll be just like Esau, and profane as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Because that's basically what you did. You sold your birthright because you decided to just freak off. You got the same characteristics as Esau, and this is why he's your father. That's why Yahweh Shah brought that out, man. But I ain't got nothing else.
That, brothers and sisters continue to press towards the mark of perfection, constantly enduring and making their bodies living sacrifice. With that, we're going to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach, wa Malak Yahweh Shai. All praise. Shalom.